and Imani makes more money than a member of parliament. The only time you receive a remuneration when you're in parliament is if you belong to the opposition bench. And then what is the pay there? The pay there is $1,200 a month. To be quite frank with you, I support the last review done by the government and the award it has made in respect of both the minimum wage, and I have some issues with the minimum wage schedule and how it was done. There are some significant, in my view, there are some significant defects in it. But I support what has been done, and I believe that the emoluments given to members of parliament, right, is fair. It is ultra modest, in my view. I don't think that the award could be deemed to be massive in any way. I think the award has been very conservative and it is fair. And let me go through that for a moment. We deem Parliament to be one of the highest, if not the highest institution in the land. Mm-hmm. The work of Parliament or the legislature is to pass laws for the good governance, peace, stability, and progress of the community living within the state of Grenada. That's the role of Parliament, to pass laws. And therefore, what is the value we attach to the work that Parliament does? Passing laws for the good governance, which covers every aspect of life of members of this community in the state of Grenada. You have a situation in which there are parliamentarians who earn less in remunerations than the basic pay of the regular Imani. That's a fact. And I know it because I have been there. There are parliamentarians, members of the House of Representatives, and members of the Senate who reside in the other branch of government, namely the executive, who are paid not 1 cent for the work that they do. If you are a member of the branch of government referred to as the cabinet, you get not 1 cent for your parliamentary duties, and you are elected by the people. So that the basic $800 and $900 paid to an Imani makes more money than a member of parliament. The only time you receive a remuneration when you're in parliament is if you belong to the opposition bench. And then what is the pay there? The pay there is $1,200 a month. And since 2013 to now, there has been absolutely no adjustment to the remuneration of parliamentarians. None. I served in parliament for 23 consecutive years as Labour representative. When I demitted office in February of 2013, my pension was $435 a month. Come on. It was $435 a month. I entered parliament when senators were paid around $600. I'm talking now about the value of the work that you do. The value of passing laws. Every law passed in this country in the last 30 years, every single bit of legislation, whether it's taxing legislation, whether it's legislation concerning land and titles, whatever legislation, whether it's criminal legislation, every single piece of legislation passed in the Parliament of Grenada in the last 30 years, I had something to do with it. And for 22 of those years, the pension I received was $435. And Brother Philip, I can't disagree with you more. I cannot disagree with you more. Right? That you have to treat, you see, let's understood how Parliament worked. Before 1951, Parliament was seen, the representation in Parliament was seen as a civic duty, because Parliament was constituted by representatives of the plantocracy and the merchants appended to it. So Parliament was populated by the property class. They had large estates and they had large commercial businesses. So they didn't need any funds. Besides which, they made sure that they govern in respect of their own interests. The vast majority of the population that had no parliamentary representation and very little civil and civic rights, right, were ordinary poor working people. When the 1951 revolution took place and universal adult suffrage was attained, and the vast majority of working people, Black Grenadians, now had a right of representation in the political process, they then came to Parliament. So who came to Parliament is the poor and the unpropertied. So parliamentary salaries had always been viewed as civic duty. So you give a little, because the people who held that power did not depend, or there was no dependence on an income, because the income came from other sources. Right? When Parliament was constituted by a different class, and you have the working class now in Parliament, you can't expect to pay them pittance. And in all of these instances, for those who are serving in the cabinet, the other branch of government, they got absolutely no pay for Parliament. None. So let's get this straight. The figures, look, $5,000 per month for a parliamentarian, quite frankly, is no money at all. The income of the, I represent workers in electricity and other places, and I know what income salaries are. And remember, that income decides your pension. You know, as I told you, my pension after 23 years of consecutive service in the Parliament of this country was $435 a month. What an insult! But I accept it because that is what it is. But things have to change, and I salute the current government for having the willpower to change it. Right? And I challenge anyone in an open debate, or whether or not what has been set. In fact, what has been set in trend is modestly low. When you look at the value of the work done by parliamentarians in the House of Representatives and in the Senate, $5,000 a month is measly. To be quite frank with you, it's measly.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, thanks for checking out the Bub Report's social media pages. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch our weekly live show, follow our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can catch repeat episodes on Wednesdays at 4 and 5 p.m. respectively on CRFM Radio and GBN TV in Grenada. We are also viewed on Sundays at 8 p.m. on WPG 10 throughout the Caribbean. Thanks for watching.